and I just want to welcome everyone to this event. We are extremely excited to have this discussion and with our guests that have come from long ways away to discuss public opinion polling, not only in Georgia, but elsewhere. As I think we're all very aware, polling has its challenges, and that's not unique to Georgia. We've worked for some time with our partner CRRC on doing both public opinion polls as well as focus groups, of course, for the past, 8-9 years now, and have encountered a variety of different challenges that I think a lot of you who live in Georgia are very aware. But for our guests' sort of edification, there are a lot of challenges with regard to the acceptance of public poll figures in Georgia. They range from a lack of technical understanding of polls and confusion about sampling and representation and margin of error, as well as purposes of polling. And that's one of the biggest challenges NDI and CRRC face when there's an expectations that our polls are intended, for example, to predict election results. Spoiler alert, they are not. Also, assumptions are very firmly held here, as in other places as well. And when public opinion doesn't match our preconceived notions about things, it leads to confusion and misunderstanding. And I think there's just a general lack of familiarity of the public opinion science here. There are not that many public polls that take place. Therefore, when one happens, it is very large news, and perhaps unnecessarily so. And I think there could be some lack of understanding of how to better use polls. So we've been working really hard with journalists as well as political parties and government leaders on how to take the data and what to do with it. Instead of just reacting to which party is the most popular at that moment, there is a lot of information in every poll we do. How could it benefit your purposes working for the Ministry of, say, Euro-Atlantic integration? How can it help you as a member of parliament? What can you do as a journalist to track this issue? How does it help you as an NGO in your advocacy efforts? So I think we've only scratched the surface in how we can actually transform some of this data into concrete policy making. And there are a lot of missed opportunities, so we need to do better. I think mostly our aim with polling is not to be an expert in predicting elections. That is a very complicated business, as we know, and is often wrong, even by the people that do it amazingly well with complicated algorithms and complicated methodologies. Our goal is to connect policymakers with the people and to ground discourse in reality to prevent a lot of the misinformation that could be out there by various sources. This is particularly true, I think, in foreign affairs. So I hope we can have a great discussion over the next 8 hours about polling, both here in Georgia and elsewhere. I wanted to share that NDI does polling not just in Georgia, but in other countries, and we're always extremely interested in pushing the limits of this science and trying new things and experimenting with new designs. And one thing that we've done in Ukraine, and our Ukraine director is here, and she'll be talking later, is we've done some work with, for example, implicit associations. So sometimes a problem in polling is that people don't necessarily tell you exactly what they feel in their hearts or what they consciously believe. And this is true where political correctness might be strong, or in fact just certain belief systems or expectations might be strong.